Welcome to Jackie's Craft Table. Hello everyone, welcome! In this video we are going to be making up some fun holiday cards using Spellbinders November Card Kit of the month. This kit is called Merry Wishes, and I'm going to open it up and show you what it includes. Here is the kit contents page, and it gives you some fun ideas of what you can do with the kit. And it also teaches you how to use the dies that are included. Here is your pack of die cut shapes. And you get some journaling cards this time. I love these, and you get 2 of each, which is nice because they have designs on both the front and the back. So you have a lot of options. And the designs on these are really fun. I used several of these on my cards this time. You could even just use these for the sentiments if you want to, or even your scrapbooking if you're a scrapbooker. These are perfect for that. And these also have a really nice weight to them. But just a lot of fun designs. I love the black ones with the colorful letters. And then the cute little hearts. Let me set these aside. You get some really pretty chipboard stickers, and this is double-sided. I used a lot of these on my card designs this time. Here is the pretty stamp set. I really love that line of pine trees, and I like the sentiments. They're just nice and big. Here's the set of dies. I'll show you what this looks like a little bit closer in a minute. You'll also get some foam adhesive and some adhesive tape, and I misplaced mine. Later I find it's wedged in between my card bases and envelopes. You get more puffy stickers and some beautiful gold sequins that have 2 sizes in it. Here's your paper pad, and then of course your 10 card bases and 10 envelopes. And let's flip through this beautiful cardstock. You get a lot of cardstock in these kits. I always have lots of supplies left over when I'm done with my 10 cards. You can make up many cards with these fun kits. I went ahead and cut out my dies with the cardstock that was included in this kit. I'm just going to quickly put this together so that you can see how easy it is and how fun it is. This makes up the cutest little lamp post. On the example page, they cut it out with black and white cardstock, and I really liked the look of that. But I wanted to try it with black and gray. And there are a lot of little pieces to this, but they're pretty easy to figure out. You also get a light post in the die cut shapes as well as the chipboard stickers. So if you didn't want to use your die cut shapes, you can certainly use the other 2 options. But this was just fun to build, and I like how you can build it even with gold detailing if you want. I'm using a piece of type paper just so all of the small die cuts don't get lost on my black work mat, and it's easier to show you on this white piece of paper. But there are a lot of teeny tiny die cuts included in this pack, and it's helpful to use a pickup stick or a wax stick, even though mine doesn't seem to be working very well at this moment. But it is helpful to have one of these little tools. I think my favorite piece of this die set is the little wreath and the Noel sentiment. It's just small, and it's perfect to put around your lamp post. And it comes with little flowers and leaves and even twinkle lights. But I just kept it pretty simple this time, just to figure it out. I'm going to glue my green wreath onto the gold wreath for a little bit of fun sparkle. And then this little bow is so cute. I cut that out with some gold paper as well. This is going to be a very simple card once I have my lamp post put together. It even has a little drift of snow that you can set your lamp post in. I thought that was so clever. And now to adhere the wreath, and I'm just using little teeny dabs of glue for this. Just love the look of that. And next I'm going to adhere the bow right up at the top. Okay, now let's start putting this card together. I'm using lots of layers of cardstock and pattern paper. I love this pattern paper with the black snowflakes, so that's going to go down first. Next is a layer of gray, but I'm going to put the glue cardstock on that first. It's just easier to center that way. These layers are pretty thin. The cardstock, I'd say, was about an 80-pound. And then the pattern paper is kind of a very thin layering paper. But it's just perfect for layering. You don't want it too heavy. And now for a little light behind the light post. Just using some squeezed lemonade distress oxide. And now I can glue on my lamp post. I'm putting more teeny tiny dabs of glue behind it. And then I'm just going to center this on my card. I like that little bit of a glow. And then last, I'm going to adhere my sentiment, the Noel die cut. I'm going to put that right over the wreath. I'm going to add one more little touch to this card. Little dots of white gel pen. I'm just going to make little snowflakes around the lamppost. This is a very subtle touch, but it's a nice touch. You can see it better in person. But it just adds a softness to the card that I really liked. And here is a close-up look. I always try to decorate the insides. And this time I used a die-cut shape from the pack, a sentiment that says Merry and Bright, and some leftover pattern paper. On card number 2, I'm going to be using some more of the pattern paper, as well as a lot of the tags from the die-cut shape pack. There were so many cute tags in this set. I'm going to tie on some twine. I also used some very thin red ribbon on one of the tags. And I'm going to adhere these down flat. I like this tape runner from Fun Stamper's Journey. I got it in one of the kits, and I've been enjoying using that. You can really see where the tape is going on. It shows up more than the dot liner I usually use. But look at all of these cute little tags. I thought they were so much fun. And you get 2 of each die-cut shape in the pack, so that's nice too. And then I found this darling little ugly sweater. I'm going to put that on the largest of the tags. And I popped it up with some foam pieces. And then I'm going to glue the sentiment that says Merry on top of the sweater. This ends up being a very busy but fun collage card. Now for the pretty poinsettia. I'll put that on the black tag. And then here's another sentiment that just says Christmas. And then on the smallest tag, I'm going to put this little heart. It looks like a heart-shaped cookie to me that says Joy. And I'm going to pop that up with another foam piece. And then I'm not done yet. I have more things to add. I'm going to use some of the chipboard stickers. They had this cute Santa hat, and I'm just going to put that next to the sweater. I usually put a little bit of liquid adhesive behind the chipboard stickers, but I forgot on this card. Now for some little stars. And this card is complete. I just love those tags. They're so much fun. Here's a look at the inside. On my next card, I'm going to use one of the journaling pages. Or it's called, I'm sorry, a journaling card. And I'm going to fussy cut it out. I really liked the look of this with the black berries around it. I like using black in my Christmas cards. It just adds some drama to them, I think. And now for a little bit of pattern paper. This is some more black pattern paper. I'm going to line it up on the corners of this card base. I'm also using some Spellbinders circle dies to cut out some circle layers for this card. I'm going to glue my sentiment on the white circle die cut. Then I'm going to pop it up and add it onto a piece of gold cardstock. And then this one I'll just adhere flat on the card. I love creating wreaths on my cards. I think they're so fun. The die cut shapes included a lot of little sprigs and leaves and berries. And so I'm going to glue these around my wreath. They're all going to go down flat with a little bit of liquid adhesive. And now I pulled out some red stickles. This doesn't come in the kit. This is just something I had. And I'm going to add it around the front of this card on some of the berries, just to add a little bit of sparkle. And this card is complete. I'll give you a look at the inside. And I just used more of the die cut shapes. This one says joy, peace, and love. I'm going to create another collage card, and I'm using a die cut shape frame. I'm going to have this Christmas tree kind of peeking out the top of it. And I wanted to back it with something bright, so I chose this bright yellow cardstock. So I'm going to glue it down flat, right up at the very edge. This will make it easier to cut out. And then I can just get my pair of long scissors and trim around this frame. I'm just trying to get the scissors under the frame. I don't want any of it showing around the edge of it. I popped it up with some foam tape. This is another piece of the pattern paper, the faux wood pattern paper. I really liked the look of this one. I'm also using one of the stars, and then I'm just adding some of the presents and the little balls with sentiments on them to create this collage card. Some of them I'm gluing down flat like this present, and then the little red ball that says Holly Jolly, I put some foam tape behind that. This little present here, I used glue and foam tape so it matches the height of the Christmas tree picture. And then I liked this joy sentiment. So I'm going to do the same thing, a little bit of liquid adhesive and a little bit of foam pieces. There's a lot of sentiments on this card. But it's so fun to create these collage cards, and you get so many die-cut shapes that possibilities are just endless. It's so much fun. However, I can go overboard on these collage cards and just start adding too many things. Sometimes it's hard to know when to stop. But I like being able to see the pattern paper and not covering it up too much. And I wanted to lighten the picture with these little sprigs of greenery. And I'm just going to glue those down flat. And then I decided to pull out some of these gold puffy sticker stars and put them around the scene. This will be the touch of sparkle for my card. And here is a close-up look. On the inside, I used a poinsettia and a die-cut shaped sentiment that says Merry Christmas. Okay, it's time for another journaling card. I loved this heart. I like using pink on my Christmas cards. The pink and the red just spoke to me. So I'm going to stamp one of these huge sentiment stamps in the middle of this heart. But to add a little extra specialness to it, I am going to heat emboss it. So I'm going to stamp it up with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, first using my anti-static powder, of course. This is an ink that will stay sticky for a while. So it allows you to add your clear embossing powder over it. And the embossing powder sticks to it really nicely. I do like to stamp it up a couple of times just to get it nice and juicy. And then I just pull out a piece of copy paper and pour my clear embossing powder over that. I should have used like a sparkly clear embossing powder, but I didn't think of it at the time. And now I can melt that very slowly. I don't want to warp the card. But I like the little touch of shine that the embossing gives. And now to put this card together. This one's going to be super fast and easy. I liked this colorful striped pattern paper, and I'm going to adhere that onto my card base. I'm going to cut a stripe out of the gold paper, just a thin strip of that. And I wanted to cover the bottom of the card with just some white cardstock. So I'll glue that down just using some more of the tape runner and cut off the excess. I like to open up my card bases to cut off the excess. This helps me to see better. And then over the seam, I'm going to put this gold strip of paper. And I'll just use a little bit more of the tape runner on this. Now I can cut off the excess, and again, opening up the card base. Sometimes the card bases don't match up 100% perfectly, so that's another reason I like to open them up to cut off the excess. I put some foam tape behind my journaling card, and I'm just going to adhere that to the front of the card. And now for some more poinsettias. I'll put a little foam piece and a little bit of liquid glue down on the corner of the card to adhere this. And I'm going to do the same at the top corner. I just don't want any of them falling off in the mail. And now to cut off the excess. Oh, one more side to cut off. I love these kits because I sure get a lot of Christmas cards done and ready to send out into the mail. I'm adding a little bit of red stickles on this card as well for a little more shine. You need some fun shine on your Christmas cards. However, I think I put shine on all my cards no matter what time of year it is. And here is a close-up look at this card. And here is a peek at the inside. A lot of fun sentiments came in the die-cut shapes this time. Moving on, I'm going to use some of these Christmas baubles that came from the die-cut shapes and my leftover strip of gold cardstock. I'm just going to put this at the folded side of the card. And then I really loved this piece of pattern paper with all of the stripes of color. So I will adhere that down next, just overlapping the gold stripe of paper. If you wanted, you could really make up 2 of each design because you get 2 die-cut shapes in the packs and then 2 pieces of the pattern paper. And then I have a little bit of the dot liner hanging off the side. So I'm going to cut off the pattern paper off the edge. And then I'm just going to cut off that little bit of tape runner that is there. I'm going to use the sentiment that says Sparkle from the Puffy Stickers pack. It came in 2 pieces, so I put the big part of the word down first, and now for the S. I'm going to pop up the baubles with some foam adhesive. And I like how they have highlights on these cute little baubles already for you, so you don't need your white gel pen for these. And then I thought about using some twine or some ribbon to hang these baubles off the top of the card. But I thought the easiest and an unusual way would be to add just a very thin strip of the gold cardstock from the kit. So I cut out a very thin strip of the gold. I'm just going to use that. I'll glue it down flat. So I'm just going to put a line of glue where I want this paper to go. This was really fast and easy to do, and I really liked the effect. It kind of matches the strip of paper on the side. But I'm going to let that dry before I cut off the excess. I'll add another line of glue for my second bauble. This was much easier than fussing with twine. And if you have a guillotine type paper trimmer, you can really get thin strips. I don't have a guillotine one. I just have the basic Fiskars paper trimmer, and I was amazed I was able to get this thin of a strip with my paper trimmer. But sometime I'm going to have to get a guillotine one. I understand they're really nice. I allowed those to dry, and then I snipped off the top. And then I found some more die-cut shapes to use, and these are some multicolored stars. I really liked the look of these. And here is a close-up look of the finished card and a peek at the inside. I'm going to use some Spellbinders oval dies to cut out a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock. I'm going to be doing a little bit of ink blending on this card. These are my go-to oval dies. I just love the scallops and the cute little details they have on them. I'm going to stamp out this cute row of trees as well as one of the sentiments. And I'm going to heat emboss it, so I'll treat my paper with the anti-static powder first. This is going to be another black and gold card. And then I'm going to ink up the stamps with more of the VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I love this little row of trees. So much you could do with it. It was really fun to play with. It's just going to be kind of a silhouette card where everything's in black. Now I can take out my oval, and I'm going to pour over more of the clear embossing powder. And then I do like to heat up my heat tool for about a minute before I bring it to my paper and melt it. Embossing it like this is going to protect my images so that I can do some ink blending over the top of them. I wanted it to be very faint, so I'm using some very pale distress inks. This first one is called Spun Sugar. My next color is going to be Shaded Lilac. And then my last color is Speckled Egg. And I really liked the delicate look of this. However, I do change my mind in just a minute, and you'll see what I do. But I just wanted to add a soft little background to the sky. So I'm going to attach my black pattern paper first. And then I'm going to pop up my oval with some foam tape. So I used up both pieces of this black pattern paper. But I like that Spellbinders allows you to purchase the pattern paper separate. So if you just want their pattern paper, you can buy it without having to buy the whole kit, as well as some of the other things from the card kits. Usually it's the die-cut shapes in the pattern paper. Sometimes it's the stamps. But I'll link to those in the description box below. And now for this cute little row of houses. Put those in front of the trees. I loved the gold details on the windows of these. It just adds some fun sparkle. I'm also going to add some more greenery, or this isn't green, but little sprigs around the oval. I like how these are black and white. At this point, I felt that my sky needed to be a little bit brighter. It was just not showing up very well. I'm going to use some of the black puffy stickers. These little black stars are so cute, so I'm going to add those. Instead of sequins, I add these. And then I'm going to pull out some more distress inks. These are just a little bit darker. I'm using some picked raspberry, wilted violet, and salty ocean just to darken the sky. And I really like how this turned out. I'm trying to be careful not to get it on the white outline surrounding the row of houses. But it just needed that touch of color. And here's a close-up of the card. And on the inside, of course, more die-cut shapes and pattern paper. This is going to be another collage card. I'm using the second frame. This is kind of a cute little Polaroid picture-looking frame, and I'm going to back it with some blue cardstock. So I'll glue that down and trim it out. I'm using the chipboard sticker Poinsettia in the middle of this frame. I'll pop up this picture with some foam adhesive. I like to put down an even coverage of foam adhesive so it doesn't sag when you send it in the mail. I'm not going to take the backing off yet. I still want to situate all of my pieces. Here is another chipboard sticker for the top. I'm going to leave a lot of white space on this card. I'm just putting this directly onto the card base. The card bases in these kits are nice because they do have kind of a linen texture to them. This is a little strip of leftover pattern paper from one of the previous cards. And now I can adhere down my little poinsettia picture. I'm going to use more chipboard stickers. Here's another sentiment banner. And then I'm going to add a little greenery just to lighten up the heaviness of all of these different pieces. I liked this little ticket that says joyful on it, and so that's going down next. And then just little sprigs of greenery here and there. I remembered to add some liquid adhesive behind this chipboard sticker and the little bow. It's nice that you can move them around a little bit, but once you have them where you want them, I would put a little bit of liquid adhesive behind them. Now for some more red stickles. This kind of adds an airiness to the card as well. And here it is all complete. And here's a peek at the inside. For my next card, I picked out all of the little pine trees that came in the die-cut shapes, and I'm going to use all of them. I'm also using a piece of the blue cardstock from the kit, and this wasn't necessary. I could have just used white, but I thought the blue would be a nice base color. But I end up coloring over the whole thing with my Distress Oxide inks. I'm starting with chipped sapphire. And I wanted a more even blend, so I come in with some tumbled glass, which is the exact color of this cardstock, just to smoothen out the chipped sapphire. On the very edges, I'm using some black soot. This just makes it a little more dramatic. I want it to have kind of a glow behind my pine trees. So yeah, I could have just used white cardstock, but it's really fun blending these inks and playing with them. I really love how this background turned out. Adds a lot of drama to this card. I'm going to cut out some more cardstock, some red and some gold, and I cut it into strips. This is going to go underneath my trees just to give them something to stand on so it doesn't look like they're floating in midair. And then I'll just add this across the bottom of my card. I'll trim off the excess. Before I start layering on my pine trees, I'm going to attach this to the white card base with more dot liner. I'll move that type paper so you can see the white of the card. Some of the pine trees I'm popping up with foam adhesive. And then some I'm just going to glue down flat. I really love the blue glow behind these trees. I think this one is one of my favorites. I do fuss with the trees a lot, or I get them in a position where I'm happy with them. The sentiment says all is bright, and it is another chipboard sticker. I really loved the chipboard stickers this time. But once these trees are in position, I'm going to add some of the gold sequins that came in the kit. I like it when they have different sizes in the sequin pack. But I do end up gluing on more than you see here, and I also put some red stickles in the centers of the sequins. And here is a peek at the inside. It's such a fun little Christmas tree snow globe die cut shape. And now we're on to card number 10. This one's going to be a very fast and simple card. I'm going to layer up more of the pattern paper. First with this cute red piece. And I cut this so that it's a little bit smaller than my card base. And then next is the Christmas tree pattern paper. So I'm going to use more of the chipboard stickers. I really love the one with the frame and the little house inside. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue behind the frame. And this is just going to go on the center of the card. And now for the little house. My sentiment comes from the die cut shapes pack, and it just says Merry Christmas. I put some foam adhesive behind this. And then this is another die cut shape. This cute little banner, it says Jolly. And then I pulled out some pink stickles. And that is all there is to this one. This was a super fun kit again, and I love that I'm getting ahead on my Christmas card crafting. I'll have those ready to go by the end of November. I hope I gave you all some fun inspiration. I'll have all of the links listed below to the products that I used to create these cards. Here's a close-up look at card number 10. And the inside. Thanks so much for watching, my crafty friends. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye!